What if the secret to a good life was figured out over 2,000 years ago? Stoicism is one of the most practical philosophies ever developed, and it's just as relevant today as it was in ancient Greece. You've probably heard the names Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, but the school itself was founded by Zeno of Citium around 300 BC. At its core, Stoicism has one supreme goal: living in agreement with nature. That means two things: living in harmony with the universe, accepting its laws and how it works, and living in harmony with yourself, making sure your thoughts and actions are consistent. When those two things align, life flows. You find inner peace. You flourish. The ancient Greeks called this eudaimonia, often translated as happiness, but a better word might be fulfillment. Now, before we go further, let's clear up the biggest misconception about Stoicism. It is not about being cold, emotionless, or robotic. Look at Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history. His journal, the Meditations, opens with an entire chapter dedicated to the people he loved most. His family and teachers. The things they taught him. The qualities he admired in them. That's not cold-heartedness. That's deeply human. For the Stoics, philosophy wasn't an abstract theory to be debated. It was an art of living, something you practiced every single day. So how do you practice it? Through 4 virtues. These 4 cardinal virtues, courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, were recognized by Plato, adopted by early Christianity, and sit at the very heart of Stoic philosophy. The word virtue itself comes from the Latin virtus, meaning moral excellence, the finest qualities a person can embody. And according to the Stoics, virtue isn't just a good thing. It's the only real good. Everything else, wealth, status, comfort, is secondary. Virtue alone is both necessary and sufficient for happiness. Think of these 4 virtues as a framework. Wisdom for understanding yourself and the world. Justice for how you treat other people. Courage and temperance for how you face whatever life throws at you. They overlap, they reinforce each other, and together they cover every corner of human experience. As the Stoics put it, just as one person can be a poet, an orator, and a general all at once, the virtues are unified, they just apply to different parts of life. Let's break each one down. Courage is the antidote to cowardice. But for the Stoics, it goes much deeper than just bravery in obvious moments of danger. It means facing daily challenges without complaint. It means striving to see the world as it actually is, not colored by fear, bias, or wishful thinking, because the Stoics believe that human suffering comes not from the things that happen to us, but from the beliefs we hold about them. Courage is what allows you to confront pain, discomfort, and even death without flinching. There's a brilliant story that illustrates this. A Stoic teacher was on a ship when a violent storm hit. The crew panicked. The teacher? He went pale, visibly shaken. But he stayed silent. No wailing, no hysteria. When the storm passed, a well-dressed passenger approached him mockingly. "You call yourself a philosopher, and yet you were afraid." "I didn't even flinch." The teacher ignored him. But later, someone else asked the same question with genuine curiosity. And the teacher's answer was remarkable. He said that even a wise person's mind will be briefly disturbed by sudden danger. That's just human physiology. The difference is what happens next. A fool sees the fear and concludes, "This is truly terrible," and then he makes it worse by agreeing with that conclusion. A wise person feels the fear, and then refuses to give it his full assent. He looks at it clearly and says, "This is not as bad as it seems." That gap between the initial reaction and the considered response is where Stoic courage lives. Justice, this isn't justice in the legal sense. It's something broader and more personal, treating others fairly, doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius summed it up perfectly. Do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. For the Stoics, justice encompassed kindness, benevolence, and genuine goodwill toward others. The image of the Stoic hero isn't a lone warrior. It's someone who protects the weaker members of the group. Someone who faces the lion so others don't have to. The Stoic philosopher Hierocles described our relationships as a series of concentric circles. You're at the center. Around you are your family and close friends. Then your community. Then all of humanity. Then the whole of Earth. The Stoic practice of justice? Consciously drawing those outer circles closer in treating strangers with the care you'd give a friend, and the world with the care you'd give your home. Temperance is self-discipline, and nothing to do with avoiding alcohol. It's about balance. Knowing what to do, what to avoid, and what to leave alone entirely. It's doing the right things in the right amounts in the right way. And crucially, it's about not being reactive. When someone tries to provoke you, to drag you into anger, fear, or pettiness, temperance is what lets you pause and respond thoughtfully instead of instinctively. One of the best tools for building this, journaling. The Stoics were obsessed with it. Writing forces you to slow down, examine your reactions, and keep yourself honest. Nassim Taleb describes Stoicism as the domestication of your emotions, not the elimination of your emotions. That's temperance in a nutshell. And Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of the most influential philosophers in history, said it plainly, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would. Wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." That acceptance connects directly to the Stoic idea of the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us and some things aren't. Focus entirely on what you can control. Accept everything else. Wisdom or prudence. This is the foundation that holds everything else together. For the Stoics, wisdom means understanding what is truly good, virtue, what is truly bad, vice, and what is simply indifferent, the vast middle ground of things that neither really help nor harm you. It means knowing how to act appropriately in any situation, and it grows through learning, honest conversation, and lived experience. Seneca had a sharp way of putting it. A man with white hair and wrinkles hasn't necessarily lived long. He may have simply existed long. Real wisdom is about developing yourself, using your time well, because time is the one thing you can never get back. The Stoics believed that the perfectly wise person, someone of complete rational consistency and moral clarity, was extraordinarily rare, almost mythical. But that didn't make the pursuit pointless. Quite the opposite. Progress toward wisdom is both possible and urgent. So there they are, the 4 Stoic virtues: courage, justice, temperance, wisdom. Live by them, and you avoid becoming a slave to your own vices. You stop fighting reality and start moving with it. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate. Not just tolerating what happens, but genuinely embracing it as part of your story. In the end, Stoicism isn't a philosophy you study. It's one you live. Every decision, every reaction, every moment of difficulty is a chance to practice it. That's what makes it timeless, and that's why people are still reading Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus 2,000 years later. The art of living well hasn't changed. We just have to choose to practice it.